Today's topic of the class is trachea. You can see this is the trachea in this diagram. The trachea, it is a Latin word which means to say air vessels. It is a white tube lying in the midline of the neck and in the lower part of the superior mediastinum. It is included in the part of superior mediastinum and it is situated in the midline of the neck. The trachea is about 10 to 15 centimeter in the length. In adult, it is about 11.25 centimeter in the length and 2.5 centimeter in the diameter. So, introduction. The trachea, it is mobile, cartilaginous and membranous tube. You can see this is the membranous or cartilaginous tube. It's a continuation of the larynx. You can see this is the larynx. It have thyroid cartilage and this is the cricoid cartilage. So this is the larynx. So it continues from the larynx at a lower border of cricoid cartilage and opposite the C6 cervical vertebrae. So at the lower border of cricoid cartilage and at the level of C6 vertebrae, it continues as a trachea. Termination. It is about 10 to 15 centimeter long and its lower end, the trachea ends by dividing into two bronchi, right or left principal bronchi, opposite the level of T4 thoracic vertebrae. This is the T4 thoracic vertebrae at the level of sternal angle because it is also known as a sternal angle. So, at the level of sternal angle, it is divided or bifurcate into two bronchi, right and left principal bronchi. So, in its course, it descends in the midline of the neck. It is about 10 to 15 centimeter long, but it have 18 to 22 cartilaginous rings. You can see this is C-shaped rings which is incomplete posteriorly. You can see here. This is incomplete posteriorly. So that is C-shaped cartilaginous ring. It is a hyaline cartilage. It is made up by hyaline cartilage. The posterior free ends of the cartilage are connected by a smooth muscle which is known as a trachealis muscle. You can see here this is the trachealis muscle which complete this gap, which fill this gap, and also a fibroelastic ligaments which permit expansion of esophagus during the passage of bolus of food. The arrangement of cartilages and elastic tissue in the tracheal wall prevent its nicking and obstruction during the movement of head and neck. The extent of trachea varies in these individuals. First of all, it is extend from C6 cervical vertebrae to T4 thoracic vertebrae in the cadaver because it placed in the supine position. It varies C6 cervical vertebrae to T6 thoracic vertebrae in the living individual in a standing position. It is situated from C6 cervical vertebrae to T3 thoracic vertebrae in the newborn. Course. The trachea, you can see here, this is trachea, cartilaginous tube. Behind the trachea, you can see this is the muscular tube is known as esophagus here. So, the trachea descends anterior to the esophagus and enter to the superior mediastinum. You can see here, this is the superior mediastinum just below the first rib. This is the part of superior mediastinum. Just above the first rib, that is the neck. This is the part of the neck. So, it enters the superior mediastinum inclining a little to the right of the medial plane. The posterior surface of the trachea is flat where it is applied to the esophagus here. The trachea ends at the level of sternal angle. You can see this is the sternal angle at the level of T4 thoracic vertebrae. At the level of sternal angle, it's divided into two principal bronchi right and left principal bronchi. The trachea terminates superior to the level of heart and it not a component of the posterior mediastinum because it ends at the level of sternal angle. It is not a component of the posterior mediastinum. So you can say this is the part of the neck here just below the first rib. This is the part of the superior mediastinum and it ends at the level of sternal angle into a two principal bronchi. Relation, first of all, at the level of the neck, the relation at the level of the neck, you can see at the level of the neck it's lie anterior. Here you can see there is a thyroid gland just, and this is a trachea. Here you can see anterior to the trachea there is a lobes of the thyroid gland situated here. Inferior thyroid vein, you can see there is a vein which is related to the trachea here. This is the inferior thyroid vein and the muscles of the neck which is related anteriorly to the trachea. Posteriorly you can see there is a right or left recurrent laryngeal nerve which is lie posterior to the trachea. You can see this is right or left recurrent laryngeal nerve which lies posterior to the trachea, and laterally you can see this is the trachea, and on lateral side both right or left you can see there is a lobes of the thyroid gland. On right side there is a right lobe and left lobe of the thyroid gland, and the carotid sheet, you can see the carotid sheet have some content common carotid artery and internal jugular vein. So here on lateral side of the trachea you can see there is a common carotid artery or internal jugular vein which is situated on either side of the trachea. So this is the relation at the level of neck. Now the relation at the level of thorax. Anteriorly you can see just below the first rib. Here this is on medial side, you can see this is the trachea. So first of all, most anteriorly there is a manubrium sterni, manubrium part of the sternum bone, and sternothyroid muscle which is related anterior to the thyroid, anterior to the trachea in the thorax, and remains of the thymus. Here you can see remains of the thymus and left brachiocephalic and inferior thyroid vein. You can see this is the left brachiocephalic and inferior thyroid vein, and arch of aorta. Arch of aorta, it is also related to the trachea in the superior mediastinum, and brachiocephalic, and you can see this is the brachiocephalic artery, and here you can see left common carotid artery which is related anterior to the trachea, and deep cardiac plexus and lymph node. Here you can see anterior to the trachea there is a pretracheal lymph node which is situated. So this is the anterior relation of the trachea. Again you can see this is the trachea here. So this is the brachiocephalic artery here, and here you can see this is common carotid artery here. This is the anterior relation of the trachea in this diagram. On posterior side, the posterior relation, you can see this is the trachea, this is the larynx. Here this is the trachea. The trachea, just posterior to the trachea you can see this is the esophagus. So the posterior relation of the trachea is first of all esophagus, and more posterior to the trachea you can see this is the vertebral column. So just posterior to the trachea there is the esophagus, and more posterior to the trachea, the posterior relation you can see there is a vertebral column, and here the course from C6 to T4 thoracic vertebrae, this is the vertebral column here. So this is the posterior relation of the trachea. Now on right side you can see on right side there is a relation of the trachea to the right side. So to the right side you can see first of all azygous vein. Azygous vein lies on the right side of the trachea. So this is the trachea and this is the esophagus. So just right side on the trachea there is a azygous vein first of all, and right vagus. You can see this is the diagram, you can see here this is the trachea in between these two structure, and just right side of the trachea you can see right vagus now, and azygous vein, and also right lung and pleura, because this is the trachea, and just trachea there is a right side you can see this is a azygous vein and right lung and related pleura here. On left side you can see we are going to left side, the structure present left to the trachea. First of all you can see on left side to the trachea there is a arch of aorta. Here I can make easier in this diagram. You can see this is the arch of aorta just left to the trachea, and left common carotid which is arises from arch of aorta. This is left common carotid and left subclavian artery. So arch of aorta it's just lie behind the thymus, and its branches is common carotid, left common carotid and left subclavian artery which is lie left to the trachea, and left vagus. Now in this diagram I can see this is the diagram, you can see here this is the left vagus. So this is the arch of aorta, left common carotid, left subclavian and left vagus. Now left phrenic. Now in this diagram you can see this is left phrenic now, and left recurrent laryngeal now here. So everything which is lie on left side it is the related to the relation, left side relation of the trachea, arch of aorta, left common carotid, left recurrent laryngeal now, left subclavian, left phrenic, left vagus and left recurrent laryngeal now. So this is the left side relation of the trachea. This is left side relation, and also left lung and related pleura. Now arterial supply, you can see this is the trachea, here behind it there is a esophagus. So upper two-third part of the trachea it is supplied by the inferior thyroid artery which is related to it on anterior side, and lower one-third part, the lower one-third part it is supplied by the bronchial artery. So you can see this is the highlighted part, right bronchial artery on right side, and you can see left bronchial artery on left side which is supplied the trachea. So upper one-third it is supplied, upper two-third it is supplied by the inferior thyroid artery, the branches of inferior thyroid artery, and lower one-third part supplied by the bronchial artery. On right side there is a one bronchial artery, and on left side there is a two bronchial artery, superior and inferior bronchial artery which is highlighted here. Venous drainage, you can see the venous drainage of the trachea here and here. The venous drainage of the trachea occurs into the left brachiocephalic vein. You can see this is the left brachiocephalic vein, or it is also known as an innominate vein. So all venous drainage goes to the left brachiocephalic vein. Lymphatic drainage, you can see this is the trachea and this is the lymphatic drainage. The lymphatic drainage of the trachea goes to the pretracheal and paratracheal lymph node. You can see this is the highlighted right paratracheal lymph node on right side, and this is the left paratracheal lymph node on left side. So lymphatic drainage drains into the pretracheal and paratracheal lymph node of the both sides. Nerve supply, the parasympathetic nerves through the vagus. the parasympathetic nerves through the vagus and recurrent laryngeal nerve. It is sensory and secretomotor to the mucous membrane and motor to the trachealis muscle. And sympathetic fibers from the middle cervical ganglion reach it along the inferior thyroid arteries and are vasomotor in nature. So this is, you can see, sympathetic supply of the trachea here through the vagus nerve on both sides. Clinical applied. The clinical applied of the trachea is tracheomalacia. What is the tracheomalacia? Tracheomalacia is a congenital anomaly that affects the development of the tracheal cartilage ring. You can see this is the normal trachea, C-shaped trachea, and posteriorly you can see there is a muscle trachealis and fibroelastic ligament. So this is the normal condition in inspiration, and expiration, this is the condition when the lumen goes, when the trachealis muscle goes inside here. So this is the congenital anomaly that affect the development of tracheal cartilage rings. In the bronchial cartilage are involved. If the bronchial cartilage are also involved, the condition is called bronchomalacia. And if the trachea and bronchi both are involved, the disorder is also known as a tracheobronchomalacia. If this condition occur only in the trachea, it's known as a tracheomalacia. If this condition is occur in the bronchial cartilage, it's known as a bronchomalacia. But if the condition affect both trachea and bronchi, this condition is known as a tracheobronchomalacia. In the tracheomalacia, the tracheal cartilage becomes abnormally soft, and as a result they can't maintain the trachea open and it continuously collapse during the inspiration and expiration. You can see in the normal condition this is the inspiration and this is the expiration, but in the condition of tracheomalacia this is the inspiration and that is the expiration. It continuously collapsed here. So this is about the trachea. Thank you so much.